2025 F1 season is just days away, and even though nobody cares about my users' opinions, here's what I think will happen during the season. In Australia, Kimi Antonelli will bin it into the wall, bringing out the red flags, giving him Monza flashbacks, and immediately making Toto Wolff realise that it should have been him in the hotel room signing Carlos. Fernando Alonso will take pole, followed by Oscar Piastri, who will end up winning the race, followed by the two Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. In China, the dumbass Lance Stroll will crash into Oliver Behrman and then blame it on anything else but himself. Following that, the race will then be won by Max My Dad Beats Me, with Lando and Fernando completing the podium. Yuki Tsushima's home race will be the first time we see Jack Doohan struggle after he bins it during FP3. Liam Lawson will outqualify Max Verstappen after Isaac Hadjar forgets to move out of the way when he's shown blue flags. Then Maxi Pad will make a brilliant recovery drive and win the race, overtaking Charles Leclerc on the final lap because he got put on a Ferrari strategy. In Bahrain, we will see Osama bin Russell make his first mistake of the season when he ends up in the wall during FP1. Haas, after going pointless all season till this point, will put both of their cars into Q3. Now, Charles, after having his first race win stolen from him, will win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Also, Fernando Alonso will get another trip to the podium with Aston Martin. At the track that looks like a sperm, we will see Liam Lawson take his first pole position. To everyone's surprise, the shitbox that is a Sauber, driven by Nico Hülkenberg, will get into Q3. Then, after a lap 1 incident caused by Kimi Antonelli, we will see 3 cars get knocked out in the first lap, which will let Lewis Hamilton win his first race for Ferrari. In Miami, McLaren will bring upgrades, turning their car into another rocket ship. Qualifying will see Carlos Sainz make his first Q3 appearance with the 2 McLarens on the front row. After the start that didn't see Lando bottle the lead on the first lap, progress, Max Verstappen will overtake Oscar Piastri and finish the race P2 behind Lando.
Oh my god. I've never looked so good.
At the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, rumours will begin to swell that Jack Doohan is being replaced by Franco Colapinto. These rumours will be intensified after Jack Doohan beaches his car during FP2. Qualifying will see Kimi Antonelli take his first pole from Mercedes until we learn he receives a 5-place grid penalty. This gives Charles Leclerc pole position. Charles will then win the race by 12 seconds, with Lewis in second, showing us the true pace of the Ferrari.
Lando, we can be world champion, I said. Please, Lando.
At the start of the Monaco Grand Prix weekend, we will officially hear the news that Franco Colapinto will be replacing Doohan for the remainder of the season. We will then see a wet qualifying that gives us a Red Bull front row, with Max on pole and Lawson starting second. But behind them will be Lance Stroll, who somehow didn't bin it in qualifying. Then, in the race, we'll see lap 1 carnage caused by a Haas, where Charles, after winning last year's Grand Prix, DNFs alongside Lando. Other than that, the race will be an absolute snooze fest with Max winning. Also, Stroll, who qualified P3, will then fall to 7th because he's simply arse at racing. Spain will see Franco Colapinto top the charts in FP1 after literally replacing Jack Doohan a week prior. In qualifying, Lewis Hamilton takes pole, followed by homeboy Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen. The race start goes smoothly and all looks fine until lap 6, when Lewis suffers a gearbox issue and has to retire. This makes Alonso inherit the lead, which he maintains all race, and after over a decade, he finally comes home to win his 33rd. Lance Dumbfuck's home race will begin with him crashing out in both FP1 and FP2. Then George Russell, who's had a bit of a boring season until this point, with pole position at his ass. He drives a brilliant race and comes on to win with the 2 McLarens behind, giving the whatever fans Mercedes have left a lovely dose of hopium. Austria will be a very boring race. The McLaren of Lando Norris takes pole with Charles behind. Lewis will cry about his car after missing Q3, and Lando will win the race by 20 seconds.
Fuck you! I'm gonna nuke Ireland! You fucking liar!
Silverstone will see the 2 Alpines have a special livery for the Superman movie releasing in July. Then, as we go to the race, Oscar, who took pole, falls to 3rd, giving Max and Charles the lead. Max will then win the race with Charles and Oscar behind.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Drink. La la la.
For some reason, at the Belgian Grand Prix, Mercedes will show sheer dominance. Kimi and George will top the charts in FP1, 2 and 3, then qualify P1 and P4. But in the race, Mercedes will suddenly do a Ferrari and go to shit. George will lose the lead on lap 1. Kimi will spin out, knocking out Max and making him fall to last, giving the lead to the 2 McLarens. Oscar wins with Lando in second, and a surprise podium from Pierre Gasly, who somehow qualified in P5. During FP3 at Hungary, the Sauber of Gabriele Bortoleto will have a massive crash. Ferrari pull a Ferrari strategy, meaning both Charles and Lewis miss Q3.
fuck? Why? What I do?
which gives Liam Lawson pole position. The Kiwi man proceeds to drive an amazing race, winning his first ever Grand Prix, followed by Lando and Max.
You're a poopy head. When we spell it out, you're a poopy head.
At the Netherlands, the Formula 1 summer break is finally over, and after 3 weeks, us F1 fans are ready to see Lance Stroll be a fuckwit. In practice, we see Ferrari has some serious pace, and in qualifying, it's a Ferrari 1-2. During the race, Ferrari somehow doesn't pull a strategy, and Charles wins with a 1-2. In Italy, the prancing horse team continues to have pace, and despite Lewis slamming into the wall during FP2, the Ferraris are clearly the fastest cars. Max takes pole position, but due to an engine penalty, he starts P11. So once again, the Ferraris start 1-2. Despite cutting through the field, Max only recovers to P5, and Charles takes the win again with Oscar and Lando behind. Azerbaijan practice starts with Yuki Sushi Man giving the barriers a lovely kiss. As qualifying rolls around, Max slightly bumps into the wall during a flyout with double purple sectors. This leaves the door open for Charles to once again start on pole. Also, a surprise front row start from Carlos Sainz reunites C-squared. The lights go out and Sainz takes the lead, with Charles closely following behind. Lap after lap, they go at it, both waiting for the other to pit until lap 32 when Oliver Behrman brings out the safety car, giving them both a free pit stop. On the race restart, Carlos Sainz flies off into the distance, eventually somehow winning the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in a Williams with Leclerc in second.
Can barely breathe when you are near.
As we get to Singapore, it's looking like Ferrari is going to win after they show crazy pace in practice, until Charles slaps it into the wall during Q3, giving the McLaren of Oscar Piastri pole position. Oscar drives an amazing race and comes on to win, with Max Verstappen finishing second. People are now starting to realize we may have a championship battle on our hands.
I like turtles. I like turtles.
Moving to the home of the greatest F1 driver in existence, Logan Sargent, we are going to receive some awesome news that Daniel Ricciardo will be signing for Cadillac. In terms of the race, Max, after having a few bad races, will win, followed by Charles and Lando, bringing the championship battle even closer than ever.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Mexico will be a turning point in the season. After qualifying 1-2, Max and Lando will go into turn 1 making contact. This will give Lewis the lead, which he plays the team game and swaps with Charles so that he can overtake both Max and Lando in the championship.
Hey, wake your ass up. Let's go. It's race time.
Brazil will be wet. Thus, similar to last year, we'll see a lot of crashes, but one driver will carve through the field, being Max Verstappen, who wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
I don't really have a lot to comment on that, except that he was being a pussy.
Now back in the US, Oscar slaps it on pole with Lando and Lewis behind. The race starts clean and Oscar leads until the final few laps, where he lets Lando through for the sake of the championship, giving Lando the win.
Do you think it was easier to work as a teammate for Charles or Lando?
Bullshit.
The Qatar weekend will start with a bang. Charles on pole, Max in second, and Lando in third. As the lights go out, Lando loses third to Lewis, who needs at least a second to steal the Constructors' title. Lap by lap goes by, with Max and Charles going wheel to wheel, and Lewis closely behind. They have a great battle, and Lewis comes through on the last lap, overtaking Max to take second, with Charles winning. Ferrari are officially Constructors' champions for the first time since 2008.
I am stupid.
The season finale will be the greatest single thing we have ever seen in F1 history. In qualifying, Max takes pole with Lando second and Charles third. Whichever of these three wins the race will become champion. The voice of Martin Brundle echoes. Charles takes second at the start. Classic Lando cannot hold position at the first lap. Expected. Following the first round of pit stops, Charles comes out leading, but Max doesn't let it go easy. He sends it around the outside and fucks it in the wall. Max will not win the championship in 2025. The battle is on between Lando and Charles. Lap after lap, Lando chases, gaining a second a lap. Charles and Lando are wheel to wheel. They come down the final straight. It's neck and neck, and the crowd freezes. Fireworks fly, the cars cross the finish line, but who won? We look up at the time charts and see Lando Norris wins. 2025 world champion is Lando Norris.
Lando has landed!